Part 5, Chapter 32, Exercise 8 of the Bible Proverbs method. Help kids follow instructions better. Using your mind correctly will transform your parenting into raising children who follow instructions. 3 exercises to practice. Nurturing our children's conduct. The first 7 Bible Proverbs method exercises focused on healing. But we must not forget the importance of nurturing, the preventive method of excellence for staving off anxiety, stress, and other mental health issues. And nurturing starts at birth with caring parents. This is thoughtful and continued devotion to the new life parents bring into the world. Only with proper nurturing can we expect a newborn to develop into a mentally stable child, adolescent, and adult. Beating anxiety and mental illness starts in the cradle. This lack of nurturing begs questions about proper dating, couples, compatibility, maturity, marriage, and parenting, but those are other subjects. Focus on how to follow instructions. This chapter is the 8th exercise of the Bible Proverbs method. The focus is on conduct, and the specific point is following instructions. As parents, you need to discuss which specific area you want to work on and find the appropriate exercises. Here's our proverb for the week for nurturing decent conduct in our children, precisely how to follow instructions. Proverbs 1, verse 8. My son, hear. That's Strong's H8085. My son, hear the instruction, H4148. Hear the instruction of your father, and forsake not the law of your mother. Hear is such a simple word in English. The biblical Hebrew incorporates much deeper meaning. H8085, Shama, to hear intelligently, often with implication of attention, obedience, etc. Causatively, to tell. KJV translations. Call together, consent, consider, be content, declare, diligently, discern, give ear, hear, listen, obedient, obey, perceive, proclaim, publish, regard, report, show, sound, tell, understand, witness. I've emboldened a few translations to draw your attention to aspects to incorporate when you teach your children to follow instructions. Help them understand the why. This discernment will cause them to consent to obey. This week, study those words in their various contexts throughout the Bible and see their relationship with how to follow instructions. A further study involves a deeper meaning of instruction, H4145. Use the Bible tools at unlockbiblemeaning.com to expound these concepts. Remember that the proverb means to follow the instructions of both father and mother. Parental example of teaching how to follow instructions. As loving and mindful parents, Daniel and Jessica prioritized nurturing their children, Noah 10 and Emma 12, with care, structure, and affection. They understood that teaching their children to follow instructions and act responsibly required patience, guidance, and a deep sense of connection. Their goal was to build a foundation of trust and respect, helping Noah and Emma understand the importance of their choices and actions. Daniel and Jessica set aside time each evening after dinner to discuss their day with Noah and Emma. During these conversations, they encouraged the children to share their feelings, achievements, and challenges. They created a safe space by actively listening, where their children felt valued and understood. Daniel often said, "Your thoughts matter, and we're here to help you grow," reinforcing the idea that following their instructions wasn't only about obedience, but mutual respect and trust. The parents used a gentle approach to follow instructions, offering explanations rather than simply giving orders. For example, if Noah resisted completing his homework, Jessica patiently explained how consistent study habits would build skills and confidence. Similarly, if Emma felt discouraged about helping with household chores, her father reminded her how each family member's contribution helped their household run smoothly. Through these nurturing practices, Noah and Jessica learned to respect their parents' guidance without fear and to understand its value. Daniel and Jessica's love, consistency, and dedication instilled in their children a strong sense of responsibility, respect, and integrity, qualities that would guide them well beyond childhood. Exercises for how to follow instructions. Here are 3 age-appropriate exercises for parents to help children follow instructions that foster understanding, respect, and responsibility. First, clear instructions with why explanations. How it works. When giving instructions, take a moment to explain the reasoning behind them. For example, instead of just saying, "Clean your room," say, "Please clean your room so you have a tidy space to study and play." Encourage questions so your children understand why the task is essential. The goal. This approach helps your child see obedience as a thoughtful response rather than mere compliance. Understanding the purpose behind instructions encourages them to follow through with intention and respect. Second, routine and responsibility chart. How it works. Create a weekly chart with tasks like homework, chores, and personal goals. Review it together at the beginning of each week and let your child check off completed tasks. Celebrate their progress and discuss any challenges they faced. Goal. This routine reinforces structure and accountability. It encourages children to take ownership of their responsibilities and understand that fulfilling tasks as they follow instructions has positive outcomes, promoting consistent behavior. Third, listening and reflecting exercise. How it works. Practice a listening check-in, where you give your child an instruction and they repeat it back to confirm they understood. For example, "Can you please set the table for dinner?" Followed by their response, "I'll set the table for dinner." Goal. This exercise reinforces active listening, ensuring your child understands and commits to the instructions. It also helps them develop the habit of acknowledging tasks clearly, supporting better follow-through. Quote, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." Jim Rohn. Following fathers and mothers' instructions is a foundational part of discipline, which ultimately helps children achieve goals and succeed in their endeavors. Parents shouldn't have to repeatedly ask their children the same things. Doing so denotes a lack of listening, obedience, and respect. By persevering with practical biblical methods, you can help your children learn the essential life practice of following instructions. More importantly, through these experiences, you'll be preparing your child's mind for their future life, a life that will not be problem-free, but where they'll be able to cope, possess mental stability, and beat anxiety. Thanks for watching. Listen to the next chapter of Mind Refreshed. Click on the link in the description below or scan the QR code and buy Mind Refreshed to nurture and heal mental health. And remember, keep studying to reach the God-intended meaning of Scripture. See you next time.